Well, first there was Singing in the Rain starring Gene Kelly. Well, harness racing now has its own version called Cheering in Torrential Rain starring Troy Williams. And I caught up with Troy at Menangle today. Well, Troy, Singing in the Rain and Gene Kelly, now you must have seen this classic.
Haven't seen it, no, definitely not. Probably a bit before my time, Mick.
Well, Troy, I'll tell you what, I'll lend you my copy.
Thanks, yeah, appreciate that.
Well, what a win and what a night. The celebrations were outstanding, but a fair to cover. Were you expecting that win?
Look, we knew he was going pretty handy. We gave him a couple of searching trials here at Menangle and kept him for that race. And we knew he'd be sort of there in the money. Obviously, there's only 3 runners, but we thought it'd be tough against Blake Fitzpatrick's horse in On Advice. But, you know, we were right there in the finish and got the money.
Of course, this now iconic photo, once again taken by Kate Butt. She seems to be the right person in the right time, although she ended up being a drowned rat, but it was an outstanding photo. There was no stopping you or owner Tim Cregan in celebrating.
No, definitely not. You know, we had some stable hands there as well, and you know, the rain didn't stop us. We were pretty happy with the result, and you know, what crowd was left here got right behind us. So Kate wasn't real happy about going out on the track and taking the photos, but she done a stellar job, and there was some outstanding shots.
And Troy, there's an interesting little story about this fella.
Yeah, look, he was an orphan. The mare passed away after 4 days, and the team at Medowie Lodge, Darren and Emma, did a great job, and obviously with the support of the owner, Tim, did a great job to sort of nurse him and potty file him to where he is today.
And how did you come about getting a fair to cover?
It was actually luck through COVID, obviously. Darren Ray gave the horse its first start here, and then COVID hit and regional racing hit. So he discussed it with Tim, and they opted to send him down to myself, and I'm very appreciative of that.
5 previous starts, all unplaced efforts, so it's just been a matter of him learning what this trade's all about.
Yeah, definitely. He was very juvenile, you know, not so much in his gait, but in the head more than anything. And we give him those few starts. And he ran a nice race here in the foundation final and trotted all the way. And we opted to have the horse gelded and tip him out for a bit of a spell. And this preparation, you know, he definitely took a leap forward and, you know, a little bit of maturity there and age. And, yeah, he's come about well.
Have you ever seen rain like that before, particularly on a racetrack?
No, definitely not. You know, we were sort of ducking for cover, trying to find a place to keep dry, and it didn't matter in the end because we were drenched. But, you know, Rob Morris said to me after the race, he says the worst conditions he's ever driven in and probably the worst I've seen.
Well, congratulations to all concerned as far as the Menangle track is concerned, because it held up extremely well throughout the night.
Yeah, definitely. They did an outstanding job, and you know, we were a little bit worried in the warm-up when it started to team down, but no, they did a great job, and you know, to still run, I think 158.9 off the back of it, and they got home in 28, so that was still an outstanding effort by the track staff here.
And try, let's turn the clock back a bit, and you've always been a harness racing person, born into a harness racing family.
Yeah, definitely. My parents did it for a long time, and I was born into it and had a bit of a stint early days out in the western regions of Dubbo, and I opted to take on the career path and got out of it for about probably 14, 15 years, Mick, and then the opportunity to move to Sydney for work came about, and that allowed me to sort of purchase a property out in the Hawkesbury, and yeah, we sort of got back involved mainly as hobbyists. But the last 12 months we've taken it on full time and mainly doing pre-trainers. But we've got a couple of owners now starting to support us, and you know, we've got a capacity there to grow, and you know, hopefully we do.
That period away from harness racing, Troy, was 15 years in Queensland.
Yeah, it was. I love Queensland. I love the horses as well, but as I said, I took the career path and, you know, got a little bit of backing behind me in terms of financials, and was able to purchase the property at Windsor, and, you know, that definitely helped. And now I can afford to step away from it and do harness racing full time, because it is a tough gig, you know, and we want to make sure that we were established before we dove right into it.
It was the fact that you got made redundant in your job that turned you back into harness racing.
Yeah, it did. An opportunity came about. I was 20 years as a national transport manager for the Super Retail Group, pretty high up in the business. And you know, COVID obviously was coming, and was made. I think it was 300 people made redundant, and I was one of them, unfortunately, after 20 years. But you know, it was a good stepping stone, and allowed us that backing to jump straight into the harness racing side, which is the passion.
You've enjoyed a good association with the Morris stable.
Definitely have, yeah. The Morrises have been great to me, even just as a hobbyist. Rob's driven for me a lot of winners, you know, and they've supported me through the pre-training process, which is fantastic. And yeah, no, Rob's probably one of the closest friends, you know, in the state I've got, and you know, he's been really supportive.
There's some exciting news about that wonderful mare, Iona Grinner.
Yeah, she's actually she's just waiting for some semen to arrive from Europe. with Bold Eagle, and then she'll go in foal. She's been a great horse to us. I think we're a couple of grand shy of $250,000, but we'll tick along for a few more starts until it arrives, and then she'll go retire and go to the paddock and Burma.
Well, Troy, it was a great story here on Saturday. The photo, once again, outstanding by Kate Butt, and congratulations once again, and well done for being out in that race. Just added to the theatre of the night.
Yeah, it did. We got the win and we were pretty chuffed, and Rob gave us the salute across the line, and there was no stopping us getting out there, and we celebrated, and we celebrated into the night a little bit too, which was great.